Okie dokie, good evening fire friends, welcome back to the Danger Pit. I'm still Chef Danger, and tonight I've got my Toronto click out. I've got myself a lovely little braai going inside my grill here today. All I've got is just a bunch of oak woods chopped down into splits, which I've set away. Now that's going to burn down into charcoal, but it's going to make like smoky charcoal rather than just shop bought charcoal, because we like it a bit extra on the Danger Pit. Now, I got sent this by my good friends at Tepro. Now this is an insert which will slide into the Toronto click, and it's just a cast iron grill. Now the idea being, when this burns down into embers and they're ripping hot, all that heat's going to transfer into this grill here, and when I put my steaks on, I'm going to get some beautiful crisscrosses in here, move them around. Mwah, we're going to have some brilliant steaks. So to get the braai going today, all I did was I took some oak splits, some leftover restaurant napkins from a Deliveroo the other week, doused them in cooking oil, put them in a crisscross lattice just like this, lit them, that's it. That's all I do. Easy peasy, mate. There's no right or wrong way to cook a steak, but there is. I've been doing this a long time. I've been cooking steaks about 18 years. Now let me talk you through the Chef Danger 2-step program to an amazing steak. Step 1, let them warm up half an hour. Step 2, more salt than you think you need, but salt. Now this may seem like loads of salt, but this isn't just to season it. This is going to draw all the moisture out of the surface of the meat, and that's what's going to help us create a lovely crust when this settles over the fire, and it's going to stop it losing all its moisture. Step 2.5, don't do anything else. Stop. First thing I see people do wrong a lot of the times when it comes to steaks, I see them putting loads of rubs and loads of different kinds of spice mixes and loads of blends and stuff on there. Doesn't need to be that. If you take a steak, cover it in a bunch of seasonings and spices and stuff, and then put it on an open fire like we're doing today, all that's going to happen is you're going to obliterate all that spice away, and you're just left with char. What we'll do is, when we finish cooking these steaks and when they're ready and when they're rested, the rest of the flavours, the rest of the seasoning that we're going to put into this steak for dinner, which for me, I like garlic, I like black pepper, I like creamy tastes, we're just going to make a nice garlic butter sauce. We'll put the sauce over the steak. That way, steak tastes beautiful, textured and flavoured by the fire, but it's not burnt, it's not powdery, it's not gnarly. We've just got beautiful meat and a lovely smooth sauce to go with it. Here at the Danger Pit, we like doing things by hand. Hi-ya! I'm so glad that worked. Come on. Just spread these out a bit, raise it up a little, even it off, and grate goes on. Cast iron grate goes on. Oh, thing of beauty that is. And then we're just going to give this a bit of time to get nice and hot. And that's it. We're nearly there, you know. Easiest cook I think I've ever done. So steak sauce, all I've got is a pan with some peppercorns in. Gonna add to that a big old pile of butter, fresh parsley, fresh garlic, and that's gonna sit and do its thing while this gets heated through and while we get our steak cooking and rested. Now if we're doing chicken or burgers, rule of thumb is if you can hold your hand over there for 3 seconds without it hurting, then it's ready, but we're not. We're cooking beef and we want this as hot as we can get it. Now I'm just gonna rub this, just a little bit of vegetable oil, just to help us create a little bit of a contact and laminate down so that my beef doesn't stick. So the beef has had a chance to tack up a little bit. It's warmed through nicely out here while it's next to the coals. Grill's here, so let me just set my tripod up, because I think I do steak a little bit differently to a way a lot of people do steak. There we go. So steak go on. Beautiful sound, right? Now I think I cook steak a little bit differently to a lot of people. They say you should leave it and let it sit, but I don't know. My understanding of meat is if you leave it like this, all the moisture is going to push down and fall out the bottom. Whereas if we keep it moving, that's not going to happen. Now I'm going to keep checking this with my temperature probe. I'm going to be aiming for about 125 Fahrenheit internally. That's the perfect rest temp to get a beautiful rare steak. But like I say, I'm going to keep this moving, and I'm going to keep checking the temperature every couple of maybe 30 seconds. If we were smart about this, we could get the crisscross going the same direction every time and then get that nice sort of X-checky look. But I'd rather have an even crust over the entire steak exterior. There's some texture thing you can do. I've had a couple of chefs try and teach me how to tell when a steak's done based on the squishy bits of your hand, but I work with my hands. My hands are really muscly and gross, so can't really tell a doneness of a steak without without modern mechanical intervention. Yeah, see that? That's what we're looking for. Steak sauce is coming together nicely. Lovely, lovely. There's a lot of it here. I like a lot of sauce. So like, I see a bunch of stuff which is telling us how to do it, like 30 seconds one side, do it 30 seconds the other side, but I mean, you don't know how thick my steak is. And even then, these are two nice butcher's steaks and they're cooking fairly evenly, I'd say. This is a fairly even layout for the braai, but it doesn't change the fact that they're cooking at different speeds and different temperatures, different thicknesses. Let's go by the temperature probe rather than by some goon on the internet telling us what to do. This one's done. This one is at its thickest part. That's a perfect rare. So if we look at the crust, perfect, perfect. Let's get it off. This one needs just another second on its thickest bit. Yeah, I reckon this sucker's ready too. A little bit, a little bit. Another 10 seconds, and then we'll take this one off. Let's get this goon off. Into a tinfoil parcel. All we're going to do is just wrap this up loosely. Doesn't need to be airtight, just enough to keep the heat in, so it's got a chance to sit. But to let a little bit of the steam out because I don't want it to sweat. Alright, we'll see this in 10 minutes. This will just continue doing its thing. Got some nice veggie rice, got some harissa and tomato green beans. Ooh! I wish I could get Ainsley Harriott more centrally in the frame, which isn't a sentence you get to say very often. I've got a lovely rested bit of sirloin there with the au jus from the rest. And a couple of spoons of our lovely steak sauce. It's herby, garlicky sauce. We subscribe to the Nigella Lawson school of cooking where it doesn't matter if it's pretty as long as it looks good. Let's eat dinner. Cheers, darling. Don't put pepper on the steak. Season your sauce. Keep it turning. Keeps it juicy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's really nice.